What do we do, guys? I got an idea. Let's go arrest Papadopoulos and serve a search warrant on Manafort to change the narrative. Is that in their text? I don't know. We don't have them. They were all deleted. Weird. There's been a really astonishing development, hat tip to Judicial Watch, in the fake Mueller witch hunt. Remember against Trump? Again, these stories are starting to come out now, day by day and minute by minute, leading us all to believe that not just was the Mueller probe into the fake Russian collusion and the witch hunt into Donald Trump unethical and immoral, but now downright corrupt and potentially illegal. There's potential destruction of evidence here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is serious stuff. Well, what happened? Let's get right to it. So Judicial Watch put in a Freedom of Information Act request for some of the records, phone records, for the Mueller team. They got to have phone records. They were issued Department of Justice official work phones. What were they texting each other? It's our information. They were working on behalf of the U.S. government, right? Mueller worked as special counsel on behalf of the United States government. They worked for us. We paid them. You paid them. Your money, not theirs. It wasn't a private enterprise. It was our phones on our time. So fair enough. They say, hey, we'd like to get a look at what the Mueller team members, as they were allegedly investigating fake Russian collusion, what were they saying to each other? What were they doing? Well, here's a shocker. Here's what Judicial Watch got back. By the way, this is just one snippet of 50 plus pages of documents. This is, I think, page 49 or around there if you want to look. It's like about 52 pages of it if you want to see it. But I'll put this up on the YouTube. You can check it out. I want to read to you from it. Here's one page. Here's page 49 of it. You'll see some information on there. They're looking for. This is a record of them looking for the texts, notes, or reminders on the phones of the Mueller team people that are allegedly investigating Trump for Russian collusion. I say allegedly because we know Russian collusion didn't happen, and Mueller knew that early. Wow, this is weird. So they're looking in 2018. They find no substantive text, notes, or reminders, no text, notes, or reminders, no text or notes or reminders. They go to another phone. They find that, the employee, talking about the Mueller team member, tried to incorrectly enter data password too many times, and the phone was wiped of all data, and it was reset. Wow, isn't that weird? Couldn't figure out their password 10 straight times. Wow, that's interesting. There's one phone. Oh, then we have another phone where they, during an out-processing conversation, they deleted data from the phone. This is another one. Interesting. Then they have another phone right there where there are no notes, photos, reminders, or other apps. Another one, no reminders, no apps. Another one, no recordings, reminders, or apps. Then they have another one that they were out processing. In other words, the Mueller team was wrapping up, giving their phones back. And it's weird. She had to wipe her phone because she forgot the password too. Had to be wiped out and reset because the phone passcode provided was inaccurate. And the phone was left in airplane mode too. Wow. Isn't that weird? Come back. This goes on and on, by the way, for pages and pages. I believe it's up to 31 phones the Mueller team was using that were all mysteriously wiped out. Accidentally, of course, dreaded air quotes time.
Yeah.
Joe, just a mistake. They were accidentally wiped out. Total mistake, of course. And then, unbelievably, multiple members of the Mueller team who are probably texting each other all kinds of horrible stuff. Hey, this Russian collusion stuff is BS, right? Yeah, I know. What a bunch of idiots. If the public's falling for this. But let's keep investigating Trump anyway. They couldn't find the data because multiple members of the team just forgot their passwords and magically entered them the 11th time instead of just trying to figure out the password, right? Which they forgot. Magically entered it the 11th time. And what do you know? Factory reset kicked in. And what do you know, even worse? They had put the phones in airplane mode before they tried to enter the password. Why? So they couldn't be remotely accessed to reset, because then it can't connect to Wi-Fi or the LTE cellular network because it's in airplane mode. Oh, just pull it airplane mode, out of airplane. You can't. The phone's locked. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I've said it often. I read the blogs. I have, because our show is called The Dan Bongino Show, and we do a lot of targeted marketing. I have my name on Google Alerts. Not because I'm obsessed about people talking about my name. It's for marketing purposes, what we should target. And sometimes message boards will pop up. And I get this a lot. So those of you who watch my show, I appreciate it. I'm reading your stuff and I always am interested in your feedback. They say, Dan's what he keeps saying something's going to happen. No, I'm not. I don't know where you got that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm exposing the truth because the truth matters. I'm not going to let these people get a pass, and I never will ever. But I don't know what show you're watching if you think I keep telling you that, the justices, don't worry, we'll get them all, folks. I'm pretty sure, Joe, I've said the exact opposite. I have no faith in any of this going forward. That's the real content of my show. I expose the truth because I believe in the truth, and I believe the truth matters. And whether there's punishment now or in some afterlife, I don't know. But I'm going to continue to tell the story. But there's absolutely no question there are two systems of justice. What do I mean? Why did I just go off on that, what appeared to be a tangent? It's not. Isn't it weird that George Papadopoulos, by the way, hat tip Undercover Huber on Twitter for bringing this up. It's a great point. Isn't it weird that George Papadopoulos was prosecuted and sent to jail for allegedly lying to the FBI? And one of the things they put in the charging document was, oh my gosh, he changed out his cell phone. In other words, insinuating Papadopoulos was trying to avoid being tracked. It's weird how that's a crime for Papadopoulos, but when you wipe out a phone and put it in airplane mode because it can't be accessed so nobody can find out what you're doing in the corrupt Mueller probe afterwards, that nobody seems to care about that. No one in the Mueller probe will face any jail time at all. By the way, when were those phones wiped out? You ever read my second book, Exonerated? If you haven't, it's a good one. There's a whole chapter on what we call the Civil War. How in July of 2017, just months after Mueller's appointed, someone walks into the Mueller team and says, hey, I've got bad news for you, Bob. Hey, Bobby, we got a problem. Peter Strzok's text with his girlfriend, Lisa Page from the FBI, don't look good. Talking about the smelly Walmart folks, the deplorables. Trump's going to become president. We're not going to let that happen. Talking about insurance policy. When does that happen? Mueller gets those texts in July of 2017 from the IG's office. Were his phones wiped? Some of them starting in July of 2017? Did they realize the same inspector general that showed Mueller the texts from Strzok and Page was going to ask Mueller and his team for the text too? And they were like, oh no. Uh-oh. Were sirens going off in their heads? Guys, delete your phones, put them in airplane mode, wipe them out. I'd like to know when they were wiped. That'd be really interesting if it happened right around July of 2017, right when Mueller figured out that the IG was watching people's texts. That'd be fascinating, wouldn't it? That'd be really, really interesting. July of 2017, we call it the Civil War because that's when they find out up on the Hill everything that's going on behind the scenes with this. And Nunes and others start really doubling down. That's also the time, July of 2017, when Mueller finds out he's got a problem because the FBI investigators are texting each other about how awful they are. That's when he goes out and doubles down. And instead of admitting he has no case, what does he do? They go and lock up Papadopoulos. They serve a search warrant on Manafort. Why? Because Mueller's team was corrupt and they wanted to shut everybody down. Is that what they were talking about over text in July of 2017? Hey, bad news, fellas. We got text from the FBI. Page and Strzok texting each other about how there's no there. There's just smelly deplorables. This is going to be really bad. What do we do, guys? I got an idea. Let's go arrest Papadopoulos and serve a search warrant on Manafort to change the narrative. Is that in their text? I don't know. We don't have them. They were all deleted. Weird.
You just heard Dan Bongino.